Chapter 2. Master the boring, dominate the fundamentals. Everyone wants the spotlight, but few want to grind in the dark. The best criminals and creators share this. They master the boring. They don't chase highs, they chase precision. In a world obsessed with novelty, consistency becomes your secret weapon. The type of person you must become: someone who finds peace in repetition. Someone who doesn't need excitement to execute. You become mechanical in your rituals daily, consistent, uncheckable. If you do this, you'll become exceptional at the things others ignore. You'll create compound results. If you don't, you'll constantly start and stop. You'll confuse motion with mastery. Success model: Bruce Lee trained one kick 10,000 times. That's not insanity, it's preparation for victory. Why he did it? So that in battle, he could move without thought and win before the opponent knew the fight began. Reaffirming belief: boredom is the birthplace of greatness. I master what others overlook. Chapter 3. Silence is strategy. Power moves without sound. The more you speak, the less people believe. Real power doesn't talk, it acts. The most dangerous people in any industry are the ones moving silently, building when no one's watching, and letting the results start the conversations. Your job becomes so consistent. Your absence from chatter is your presence in domination. The type of person you must become: quiet, focused, and available for gossip. You learn to let success echo through results, not posts. If you do this, you'll build mystery. You'll move without resistance. No one will see you coming until it's too late. If you don't, you'll waste your energy proving instead of performing. You'll become all bark, no bite. Success model: Jay-Z never needed to flex. His empire spoke for itself. Why he did it? Because silence can't be misquoted. Because real wealth needs no introduction. Reaffirming belief: I move like a shadow. I speak through outcome. Chapter 4. Play the long game. Legacy over likes. Short-term thinkers chase fast wins. Long-game thinkers build legacies. The most sophisticated operators, legal or illegal, always thinking years. They plant seeds that sprout in silence and harvest riches while others burn out. The type of person you must become: patient, strategic, willing to delay reward in exchange for empire. If you do this, you'll build resilience. Your work will compound while others collapse. If you don't, you'll jump from scheme to scheme, always restarting, always rebuilding. Success model: Jeff Bezos built Amazon with patience. Critics laughed for years. Now, they work for him. Why he did it? Because he knew time is the ultimate multiplier. Reaffirming belief: I don't chase claps. I craft legacy. Time is on my side. Title: Be so good they doubt it's legal. Silence the world with results. Preface: The unspoken blueprint of the illegally effective. Let's face it, there's a reason people whisper about drug lords, hackers, underground traders, and secretive masterminds with a bizarre kind of reverence. It's not their methods, it's their mindset. It's the cold, quiet confidence, the relentless discipline, the devotion to craft in the shadows, the commitment to results that are so astonishing, so calculated, so flawlessly executed, that people assume something illegal must be going on. But here's the twist: what if you could harness that same intensity, that same level of obsession, legally? What if you built a life so excellent that others assumed you had some hidden advantage? This book is not about shortcuts. It's about going so deep into mastery, so disciplined in your process, and so committed to your result that it looks unfair to the rest of the world. You don't just level up, you vanish from the average. You move in silence, you speak in outcomes. The pages ahead will show you how to become that person. Chapter 1. Obsession over discipline, the engine of legends. Discipline gets you started. Obsession takes you to the top. The greatest minds, legal or otherwise, do not dabble. They become consumed. Obsession isn't chaos, it's precision on repeat. It's showing up after others go home. It's doing the work when no one claps. Obsession makes you dangerous because you don't need external fuel, you run on fire from within. The type of person you must become: someone who treats mastery like oxygen. Someone who can't sleep without progress. You must become the kind of person for whom working on your dream isn't a task, it's therapy. If you do this, you'll build an internal engine no one can stop. You'll make gains others call unfair. If you don't, you'll dip in and out of focus, never building anything real. The world will forget you as fast as it noticed you. Success model: Kobe Bryant wasn't just talented, he was obsessed. Teammates arrived at 6 a.m. to find him already drenched in sweat. His game was won in silence. Why he did it? To make his success inevitable. To become undeniable, reaffirming belief. Obsession is my edge. I don't stop, I sharpen. Chapter 5. Be intrackable, operate off the grid. Predictability is vulnerability. To win big, you have to be untraceable, not in the literal sense but in how you think, move, and execute. While others announce their plans, you move in ways that can't be copied or countered. The type of person you must become, a ghost in your industry, a shadow strategist. Someone who isn't where people expect but always where it matters. If you do this, you'll be copied but never caught. Your uniqueness will insulate your success. If you don't, you'll be stuck chasing trends. Your brand and moves will be predictable, and therefore beatable. Success model: Satoshi Nakamoto launched Bitcoin and vanished. No interviews, no praise, just legacy. Why he did it? Because the mission was bigger than the man. Reaffirming belief: I vanish into the work. I don't need credit, I build impact. Chapter 6. Ruthless standards: be your own judge and jury. The reason covert operations, elite military squads, and underground entrepreneurs succeed isn't because they get lucky, it's because they operate with a level of self-accountability that borders on militant. They don't wait for someone to correct them. They build, refine, and fix before mistakes get exposed. You must build a life where you audit yourself harder than any boss, coach, or critic ever could. The type of person you must become a relentless self-checker, someone who doesn't cut corners, not because others are watching, but because your own standards won't allow it. You self-inspect, you demand better, you walk away from anything that doesn't carry your excellence. If you do this, your work will develop a reputation. People will start to associate your name with quality. You'll be trusted silently, automatically. If you don't, you'll plateau. You'll build weak foundations that crumble under pressure. You'll need others to call you out when you should have caught it yourself. Success model: Serena Williams never stopped training like she was chasing the title even after becoming world number 1. Why she did it? Because once you rise, the pressure gets heavier and your standards must too. Reaffirming belief: I am the enforcer of my own excellence. I raise my bar, and I never lower it. Chapter 5. Be intrackable, operate off the grid. Predictability is vulnerability. To win big, you have to be untraceable, not in the literal sense but in how you think, move, and execute. While others announce their plans, you move in ways that can't be copied or countered. The type of person you must become, a ghost in your industry, a shadow strategist. Someone who isn't where people expect but always where it matters. If you do this, you'll be copied but never caught. Your uniqueness will insulate your success. If you don't, you'll be stuck chasing trends. Your brand and moves will be predictable, and therefore beatable. Success model: Satoshi Nakamoto launched Bitcoin and vanished. No interviews, no praise, just legacy. Why he did it? Because the mission was bigger than the man. Reaffirming belief: I vanish into the work. I don't need credit, I build impact. Chapter 6. Ruthless standards: be your own judge and jury. The reason covert operations, elite military squads, and underground entrepreneurs succeed isn't because they get lucky, it's because they operate with a level of self-accountability that borders on militant. They don't wait for someone to correct them. They build, refine, and fix before mistakes get exposed. You must build a life where you audit yourself harder than any boss, coach, or critic ever could. The type of person you must become a relentless self-checker, someone who doesn't cut corners, not because others are watching, but because your own standards won't allow it. You self-inspect, you demand better, you walk away from anything that doesn't carry your excellence. If you do this, your work will develop a reputation. People will start to associate your name with quality. You'll be trusted silently, automatically. If you don't, you'll plateau. You'll build weak foundations that crumble under pressure. You'll need others to call you out when you should have caught it yourself. Success model: Serena Williams never stopped training like she was chasing the title even after becoming world number 1. Why she did it? Because once you rise, the pressure gets heavier and your standards must too. Reaffirming belief: I am the enforcer of my own excellence. I raise my bar, and I never lower it. Chapter 10. Kill distractions, focus like a predator. A lion doesn't chase everything. It stalks. Locks in, kills. Your mind must work the same. You cannot afford to scroll your potential away. You must become brutal with your attention. Focus is today's most expensive currency. The type of person you must become: a digital minimalist. A time sniper, someone who cuts deep, not wide. If you do this, you'll rise faster than everyone multitasking themselves into oblivion. Your output will be unmatched. If you don't, you'll stay addicted to notifications, validation, and noise. You'll mistake activity for achievement. Success model: Steve Jobs built Apple with monk-like focus. His simplicity was his sword. Why he did it? Because complexity kills clarity and clarity wins. Reaffirming belief: my attention is power. I give it only where results live. Chapter 11. Emotional control. Be calm while others burn. When the world panics, the elite stay poised. Chaos is the environment in which leaders are revealed. Think of the most dangerous people: military operatives, CEOs, and even high-stakes criminals. They don't flinch. Their ability to stay calm under fire is their deadliest weapon. Emotions are tools, not tyrants. The type of person you must become: a composed weapon. You remain grounded while others lose control. You don't suppress your emotions, you control them like an elite tactician. If you do this, you'll stay strategic in chaos. You'll be the one others lean on. You'll make better decisions, faster. If you don't, you'll be reactive, impulsive, and easily manipulated by people and situations. Success model: Barack Obama was often criticized for being too calm. That calm made him unstoppable under global pressure. Why he did it? Because emotion without discipline is destruction. Reaffirming belief: I lead my emotions, they don't lead me. Chapter 12. Isolation for elevation, retreat to advance. The best work isn't done in crowds, it's done in quiet. The most successful people know when to disappear to evolve. Isolation isn't loneliness, it's preparation. Criminal masterminds build in the shadows. You must do the same. Cut the noise, find the cave, do the work. The type of person you must become: someone who doesn't need a cheering section to progress. Someone who values solitude over applause. If you do this, you'll come back sharper, stronger, and more clear. You'll level up in peace while others waste time in public. If you don't, you'll be pulled in every direction. You'll drown in opinions and lose your inner compass. Success model: Nikola Tesla would vanish for days. He returned with innovations that changed the world. Why he did it? Because elevation requires silence, not noise. Reaffirming belief: I retreat to reload. Solitude is my sharpening stone.
Chapter 13. Obsession over routine. Like clockwork, greatness is born not from chaos, but from the precise alignment of routine. To be so good they doubt it's legal, your days must be scripted with obsession. Sleep, work out, eat, work, learn, refine. If they saw your calendar, they'd laugh until they see your results. Obsession turns time into a weapon. What you gain: compound mastery in your craft, like Jordan's shooting drills or Kobe's 4 a.m. workouts. What you risk: without routine, distraction steals your focus, and mediocrity fills the vacuum. Real example: Stephen King writes every day, no exceptions. That's how 60-plus best-selling novels get written. Routine builds an empire of work. Chapter 14. Eliminate what doesn't matter. Being elite isn't about adding, it's about subtracting. Remove distractions, delete apps, cut out toxic friends, cancel subscriptions. You're not available for average. What you gain: laser-sharp focus and energy for high ROI moves. What you risk: burnout from trying to please everyone and do everything. Real example: Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day to save mental bandwidth. Simplicity scales execution. Chapter 15. Build unseen systems. Your external success should ride on the back of internal systems, hidden routines, workflows, and mental models that create automatic wins. Automation is the silent giant of elite players. What you gain: mental bandwidth, time leverage, and predictability in performance. What you risk: without systems, you burn energy reinventing the wheel daily. Real example: Elon Musk time blocks his day into 5-minute slots. His system gives him leverage to manage SpaceX, Tesla, and more. Chapter 16. Demand accountability. No growth without tension. Find a mentor, coach, or partner who holds you to an unreasonable standard. Self-accountability is the ceiling, external accountability shatters it. What you gain: performance under pressure. You rise to the level of your standards. What you risk: stagnation in a vacuum. You'll settle when no one's watching. Real example: Michael Phelps trained under Bob Bowman, who pushed him beyond Olympic limits. The result: 23 gold medals. Chapter 17, Operate in silence. Strike in public. Let your silence confuse them. While they party, you plot. While they talk, you train. Silence is misdirection. Public wins are the shockwave. What you gain: undisturbed focus and powerful surprise impact. What you risk: bragging breeds resistance and envy before results ever arrive. Real example: Jay-Z spent years quietly building Rock Nation before the world noticed. When he moved, it looked like magic. Chapter 18, Earn inner peace through outer domination. You don't get peace by avoiding pressure. You earn it by facing chaos and turning it into creation. Dominate your lane so deeply that your soul can finally rest knowing you did everything. What you gain: quiet confidence and emotional mastery. What you risk: inner restlessness from knowing you held back. Real example: Kobe Bryant said, "The only thing I'm afraid of is not reaching my potential." He died fulfilled, not because of what he earned, but because of who he became. Chapter 19, Lead yourself like a billion-dollar company. Treat your time, energy, and decision-making like assets. Just as a CEO allocates capital, you allocate willpower. Daily review, weekly audits, strategic pivots. You are the brand, the product, and the investor. What you gain: executive-level clarity and discipline. What you risk: running your life like an amateur operation. Real example: Jeff Bezos started every day with high-leverage thinking before meetings. He led himself first, then the world. Chapter 20, Make boredom your superpower. High performers don't chase dopamine, they embrace boredom. Mastery is monotonous. If you can do the boring stuff longer than anyone else, you become unstoppable. What you gain: resistance to distraction and deep resilience. What you risk: burnout from chasing constant novelty. Real example: Bruce Lee practiced a single kick 10,000 times. Mastery hides in repetition. Chapter 21, Normalize discomfort. If you want freedom, make discomfort your new normal. Cold showers, early wake-ups, awkward conversations. Discomfort trains your nervous system to remain calm when others panic. What you gain: mental toughness, adaptability, and anti-fragility. What you risk: stagnation in the comfort zone. Real example: David Goggins runs ultra-marathons and lives in discipline. He turned pain into peace. Final summary: the blueprint they'll never teach you. What you've just read is not a formula, it's a transformation. These chapters weren't tips, they were weapons. They arm you with precision, clarity, and the internal fire most will never access. You learn to obsess over routine until excellence becomes automatic. Eliminate distractions so nothing stands in your way. Build systems that silently run your success. Find mentors who force you to rise. Operate in silence and let your actions scream. Earn peace by dominating your path with purpose. Lead yourself like an empire. Make boredom your edge, and use discomfort as fuel. You've been given the real playbook, not the public version, the one built in basements, gyms, garages, and dark nights. Now it's your turn. Be so good they doubt it's legal, because greatness, in its purest form, is unbelievable.